Hello everyone, Saurabh this side, and I am from IAPS GAVU College, and I am from MTech IT 5th semester. My roll number is 60, and this project is guided by Mr. Shaligram Prajapati sir. And in this video, I am going to tell you about the solutions for the test paper 3 of the internal test. So let's start the video. So the first question is, let's see the first question. So discuss the attribute by attribute problems that we have found on the following database. So given the database, we have to find out the attribute by attribute problems that may have occur in this following database. So let's start by the customer ID attribute. So here we can see that everything looks fine because 1001, 002, like they all are in integer and all having the four numerical values. That is fine. So here we can say that the customer ID is good. Now let's jump into the zip. So in the zip attribute, we can see that the first one is 10048, but the second one is alphanumeric because J2S. So for example, here alphabet is also coming and numerical value is also coming. So that's a problem. It can create an error. Here 90201 is good because it is five numbers as well as it is an integer. 6269 is also good, but it is not having five numbers, which can also create a problem in wrangling in data analyzing 55101. So here we can see that everything seems fine until 1002 and 1004 because the first 1002 has a alphanumerical value and the 1004 has only 4. So that can create problems in the database or data analysis. So we have to take care of that. Let's jump into the third one, that is the gender attribute. So in gender attribute, everything look fine until here. The third one, it is missing. So if a database is missing, we can put them a problem because it can create problems. So instead of missing value, we can here give a random user defined constant. So we can also give a user defined constant so that we can uh, apply the data analysis process and we can use this data. Now coming to the income attribute. So in income attribute, everything is good until the second one, which is in negative. And income, we know that cannot be negative. It can be negative at some points if debt and anything is included, but here in this data, income is only given, and if income is given, it should also always be positive integer. So this can create the problem. Now coming toward the marital status, so here M is fine, that is married. W is also fine, that is widow. But in this S and S, we cannot separate what is single and what is separated. So this S can create some problems. Now coming toward the transaction amount. So here transaction amount are looking fine until every transaction is in the same unit. For example, it is in dollar, so everything should be in dollar. Then there is no problem that we can encounter in this attribute. So let's see the solution also. So the solution for the first question is, here the customer ID seems fine, that we have already discussed. An attribute of zip, here you can see that zip code of Z2S has usually can make an error, and for 1004 we are unaware of the 4-digit zip code. That 404-digit zip code is unusual and create an error. For in gender, in 1003 there is a missing value that we have to identify and that can be managed. And in income field, here we can see that minus $40,000. It lies beyond the field of bounds of income. So there must be an error. We have already discussed that. And in the age field, you can see that there is mm, no problem in age. Now coming toward the transaction, every transaction is seems satisfactory as long as we are confident that unit of measure is same. So these are the solution for the first question and we have already discussed that. Let's start with the second question. The second question says that apply the data wrangling process in the following database. So here you can see that the first one is named this Jagdish comma Singh, then Jayan Tilak and all. Here you can see that for data wrangling, we have to make them in uniform data. For example, we have to provide a certain fixed criteria or what to say, a, for example, a fixed template so that all the names should be in that same template. For example, first name and then surname. So here we have to remove this comma from Jagdish Singh. Here the second one seems fine. Here the surname comes first, then comma, and then Binod. So we have to interchange that and remove the comma from here. This seems fine. Fourth one and fifth one also seems fine. Now let's jump into the second attribute, that is the phone number. So here every phone number has some dash in between 3 letters or 4 letters. But here you can see that here +91, that is the country code, is also given, which is creating problem, a sort of problem, because here 3 dashes are given. Here brackets are given which have to be solved. Here there is no bracket, no dash, and here only one dash is given. So for here we have to see the solution first. So here you can see that 2 dashes are provided between each and every numbers, rather there be 4 numbers or 3 numbers. For example, here after 4 numbers, one dash and then dash. Every number has 2 dashes between them. So in this way, we have triangled the data here. Now coming toward the birth date is also should be in a perfect template. For example, here August 12 of 1979 is given. So we have to write in a particular format for whole data. For example, here you can see that first year came, then the month came, and then the date came. In this way, we can organize this birth date attribute as well. Coming to other state, everything seems fine until TN comes, because TN is a short form for Tamil Nadu. So you simply can write the full form for TN, and this can be wrangled easily. So here in the solution also, TN is represented as Tamil Nadu. In this way, the data wrangling process is done, and the whole unorganized data set is being organized and structured in a proper template. So this is solved. Now third question is, consider the following database. Apply 3 methods to find out the missing values. Now we have to find out the missing values for these two places. So for for finding out the missing values, first method is using the user defined constants. So we can also fill these missing values with our own constant. For example, -1 or -99 or 0, or here anything. So in this way we can fill up these missing values with our own defined constants. So this method is known as user defined constants. Now the second one is with the help of mean or mode. For example, here you can see Ujjain, Itanagar, Ujjain dash and Jaipur. Here Ujjain comes 2 times, so the mode of Ujjain is higher. So we will fill this missing value with Ujjain because the mode is Ujjain. So here we can write this, and in coming towards the A2, here we can find out the mean value for whole A2 data and then place it in the missing values. So this method is known as using mean or mode values. Now the third one is a random draw from the distribution of variables. We can draw any random values from the distribution. For example, in this missing value we can write Ujjain or Itanagar or anything, and from here also we can write 302, 400. So with these 3 methods we can find out the missing values for these data sets. Now coming towards the fourth question, that is classify the bank loan application by assigning application to one of the three risk classes. So the given um, data set is given. Now let's see the solution. So here it is given the table. Now we have to find out first the information gain for the risk class first. So the number of classes is given 3 because A, B, C. Now frequency of A is 3 in this risk class, B is 3 and C is 4. Total number is 10. Now overall information gain is this. By applying the formula for this, we can find out the information gain, that is 1.57. Now we have to find out the information gain for each attributes. Like here for own's home, here we can find out for y that is yes and for n that is no. So for yes there are one A, two B and two C's, and for no there are two A's, one B and two C's. So now information gain for separate y and n are 1.52 and 1.52 both. Now we have to find out the total information gain for the two subtrees. So here we will calculate this by multiplying the probability of yes into the information gain for yes and adding them to the information gain of no plus into probability of no, and this comes to be 1.52. In similar way we have to find out the information gain and total information gain for all the attributes like married, gender, attributes, employed and credit rating. After finding out these whole information gains and total information gain, we have to draw this table like information gain and before split, after split. Now after seeing here the class with the attribute with the highest information gain will be the root node or the parent node. So here gender is the highest information gain, so in the decision tree gender will be the highest first root node. Then it can be divided into two subtypes, that is male or female. In male we can see that there is directly class B, because when the gender is male you can see that it is B, it is class B. So here we can clearly see that when the gender is male then only B is coming. So B will be the leaf node for gender when male came. For female there should be uh, everything ABC. So we will find out the second subclass, that will be the second highest, that is 0.72, which is merit. So the second class or the node will be merit. Now for merit also yes or no, two subclasses are there. So with the help of this table we can find out whether yes gives B, A or C. So here we can clearly see that when yes comes then only C is there, so the C will be the leaf node when yes came, or when no then class A will come. So in this way the decision tree is drawn with the help of information gain. Now come to the third one, fourth, fifth one. Here we have to use Gini index for finding the same. So for Gini index we have to apply this same process, but the formula for Gini index is something different. The formula for Gini index is 1 minus probability of A square plus minus probability of B square minus probability of C square. This gives the Gini index for Y, that is yes, and for same and also no also we have to find the Gini index. Then we have to find the last total value of the Gini index, which will be coming from the probability of yes into the Gini index of yes plus probability of no into Gini index of no. And after finding out the value it will come 0.64. Then we have to find out for the whole five attributes. Then we have to make table, and here as we can see that the here we can see the smallest gain in index, and here 0.358 is the smallest, so it will be the root node, and the process is same for it also. Thank you for watching.